What's good, y'all? I got on sweatpants tonight. Like, it's been a long day. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We have an artist by the name of Reg tonight, and he has some music that he's releasing, he's promoting. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. As you can hear, I'm playing his music in the background. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm actually in a more tats. My homie, Angel, okay, kid with the wings, he did my tattoos, most of them anyways. So more tattoos are on the way, because I'm about to see my homie in a little bit. Y'all crazy. Let's go ahead and get Reg on. I can't see you. Okay, there we go. I see some light. Some light is happening. I ain't even tried my hook yet. There you go. Now I see you.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Very blessed to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show.
Absolutely. So Reg, okay, that's what you go by, right?
That's what I go by.
That's what you go by. So let me ask you a question. I'm sure you're not the only artist named Reg. So how do you feel like you're going to differentiate yourself from other artists with the same name?
Well, to be honest, I just really put all of my letters, capital letters, first of all, and I'll just put it to you this way. Once they know the music and they know the sound, there's no comparison at the end of the day.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm listening to your track right now. Somebody's doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's one of your singles that you have going. What's some of your other singles that you have right now?
Right now, I actually dropped a single in the summer called "Coming for the Bitches," of course, and I'm preparing to also drop a new single called "Papa Baby Mama's Lover" sometime in a few more months. So stay tuned on that. And that's all I have for you guys right now.
Got you. Now you have a very soulful sound. I would like to say. So you were raised around music. Is that where the sound comes from?
Definitely where the sound comes from.
Okay. Now, do you have other family members that's in music as well?
I know I have a cousin who's also in a band. He's also going to open up a studio soon. I want to say in Asheboro.
All right, all right. And you're from Raleigh, North Carolina?
Definitely, Raleigh, North Carolina.
I've been to Raleigh one time, I believe. I had some family that stayed in the Carolinas for a little while, and it was popping. So how's your support from, your hometown, from your home state, where you're from?
Support is very good. Definitely people are always rooting for me. Definitely have the people in my corner that's always been loyal to me, always been supportive, and I definitely know where, like, people want to do it for clout. I just always keep them out the circle, pretty much.
Got you. So there's people around you that you feel like are just trying to leech on to, what you're doing, not really trying to contribute.
Most definitely.
Okay. Now, would that be a piece of advice that you give to other artists that's up and coming, is to kind of watch for the leeches?
Yes, watch out for the leeches, and also pay attention to how they support you early in the career compared to like how you're doing right now and when you're popping,
Got you. So what's some of the signs that you've seen early on?
Well, pretty much let's just say they'll support your music or they'll compliment your music when by yourself, but when you're out with your friends and stuff like that, they'll say, oh, that's that little local stuff, that's just little whack stuff, because they'll make it out to seem like local rappers being local is a bad thing, when at least you're getting noticed, at least you're getting a little attention at the end of the day, and soon that attention is going to rise up, and it's going to all take time and patience at the end of the day.
Got you. So yeah, I heard your little single. I heard your little your little album. You know, shit like that. That's what you gotta watch out for. Is what you say?
Right. Definitely.
All right, all right. Well, that's good advice. That's definitely good advice. So now these singles, are they coming off of a larger project? So you have an EP, an album. Like, what are you working on?
I definitely have a fuller project coming later on this year, and I'm definitely planting the seeds on that one for right now. So that's all I'm going to say.
Wait. You sound like it's some high, service type stuff. Okay, some high profile.
I don't want to reveal too much at the moment.
So do you have any features that you're working on with the album, or is it just going to be just all you?
I definitely have one feature with one of my friends. He's also an R&B singer. Shout out to my friend, by the way. Definitely going to be working with them in the future. So we're definitely going to get to do some work soon.
Okay. Now, does anyone compare you to anyone? Like, do they say, oh, you remind me of this artist?
I rarely receive any comparisons, to be honest with you. And I'm actually pretty glad about that, because it definitely shows that I'm in my own lane and I'm definitely doing something good, doing something original and whatnot. I knew I have my influences, I have my people I look up to, but at the end of the day, me being compared to somebody is as equivalent as just being part of a group when you have to try your hardest to stand out.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I would definitely agree. I would say that, not having any comparisons is definitely a great thing. Like you said, it definitely shows that you are unique in what you're doing right now. Now, you currently, so you have a podcast, correct?
That is correct.
So what's the premise of the podcast for those who haven't tuned in yet?
Well, the premise of the podcast is basically like reviewing albums, just talking about reviewing albums, reviewing movies, or talking about any topics of the day, but with always like a hip-hop authentic.
I can't hear you. You went out.
It's my fault. I've been doing this for a while now, I think since 2013, and slowly the audience has been growing and growing and growing. And definitely, I always like to review certain artists I don't even know sometimes, or sometimes I would expose me to newer music. And it would just like, people would just be like, oh, you recommended me to listening to this. You actually recommended me to listen to that, and always a good feeling.
Got you. So are you open to other people reviewing your music?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay. Do you ever review your own music?
I review my own music a couple of times. Yes, I have.
Okay. So you just recently released the EP as well. So let's talk about Captivated Murder this month. Let's talk about the title first and foremost. Let's get into that real quick before we get into anything else.
Okay. So, now this is a crazy story. Originally, it was supposed to have been called Rest in Power.
Okay.
But at the same time, I thought about
definitely, I think, to a good tone for what's going on right now in the country. But
exactly.
Okay, so you changed the title, and why?
Because of definitely what's going on in the world today. I mean, everyone like this whole year has been saying, "Oh, this is going to be my year. This is going to be my year," and everything like that. But then with what's going on with like the politics, and of course, we're going through a pandemic, and then we have to live through like the whole George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. It's just like everyone's like in a state of panic and whatnot. And I just wanted to capture that in that EP. Like, this is this chaos, the world we're living in right now. And we cannot always be goody-goody. We cannot always be living, and we cannot always be shooting. Sometimes we just have to stay like it. Sometimes we just have to scream. Sometimes we just have to shout.
Your phone is breaking up. I don't know if it's your signal, your Wi-Fi.
Hold on. Can you hear that?
Still breaking up.
Still breaking up. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'll take a sip of wine. All right, so just give it a couple of minutes. We'll be back with Reg. He might have had a signal issue. I hope everybody's doing good. Hello to everybody checking in. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys as always. So this is On the Roxx. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead while we wait for Reg to join back. I'm going to try to pin his at. Let me just go back up here. MC Reg Music. One. Thank y'all for all the hearts. I appreciate it. That make me feel so special. On the Roxx. And then you can email me at Radio. I'm looking at Redd Foxx gmail.com. Okay, so I'm about to pin this, so when he gets back on, you guys can get that information. What's up, Lamar? Hey guys, what's up? Thank y'all for tapping in. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. Hopefully he will be joining us again. I just sent him a request. So his name is Reg. He's out of Raleigh, North Carolina. He's dropped a handful of EPs recently, working on an album. He also has a famous descendant. So we're going to talk about that as soon as he joins my live back again. Stay Humble Clothing. Definitely, I will check you guys out. I also have a P.O. box coming soon. I said by the end of this week, but I'm going to try to do that next week. So if you do want to send me anything, it'll be like on my profile and you can send it. There we go.
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes. Thank you for joining us back. I thought I lost you for good for a minute. But so I think we were talking about the EP and the title.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so pretty much it's like...
Oh, go ahead. They tag in the building. Okay. Go ahead.
It's like everybody's like in a state of panic and they just want to scream and shout. And I just wanted to capture that chaos, capture that disorder, but at the end of the day, still remain that common sense at the end of the day, you know? So that's where the title Captivated Murderer comes from.
So is that like in reference to, like you said, all the like the George Floyd situation, as well as, you know, Breonna Taylor, is because murder, I mean, that's obviously a striking word. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
So did you have that in mind when you created the title?
I definitely had that in mind. It wasn't like the main thing in my mind though, but I definitely had that in my mind.
Got you. Okay. And you released some other EPs as well. Let's talk about those.
Yes. I definitely released some EPs as well. Like I recently also released the Raw the Remix EP, which was an extension to the fuller project called Raw I released last year, where it was like some remixes, some unreleased songs and stuff like that. And that's where originally Somebody's Doing Your Job came from, that one. And then I did a song called like Coming for the Bitches, where that's just another like angry song that I did too.
So why was you angry? Talk about that. Like what was you angry about?
I was like angry. It was like angry, hungry. Like, you know, you were just hungry. You're just ready to take over. You know, sometimes you get greedy and you just want to get your plate and then you want to get everybody else's plate and stuff like that. You know, that's where I was going with that.
Okay. All right. So you released a lot of projects. It sounds like you live in a studio right about now. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I just do hard work, you know, while maintaining, you know, still in school, you know, about to graduate with my master's, of course. Oh, congratulations.
Shout out to North Carolina State University, yes.
Congratulations. That's major. Especially right now, during these times. I mean, I could barely focus on, you know, I don't know, pouring a bowl of cereal, let alone get an entire master's degree, especially during this time with all this stuff going on. You know, we have a transition of power. We have, you know, the uprising and the revolution, and then the pandemic on top of all of that. So that's crazy. So you're dealing with all of that. You're going to school, getting a master's, and you're also in the studio recording. Like, talk about that process. What keeps you grounded? What keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is passion and hard work. You know, I definitely have a passion in always succeeding. I definitely have a passion in really failing. Because even if I do fail, I always treat myself, you know what, I'm going to do better next time. And I'm going to come back stronger and harder. And that's what always makes me better. That's what always keeps me afloat. And that's what always keeps me grounded, especially what's going on today.
Absolutely.
Because people, they just love to like just mess around or just BS around and stuff like that. Well, I'm not one to play around. I'm not one to BS. I just came to take over.
Got you. You know what? I can feel that. I can definitely respect that. And you have like you're like a descendant of Sierra Leone, right?
Yes, my family's from Sierra Leone, Africa.
And like, so you have it in your blood basically to do what you got to do. And how do you feel like, you know, being where you're from and where your family's from, how do you feel about, like, did it impact your views on everything that was going on as far as like the revolution and things happening here in the United States versus over there?
I definitely feel like it impacted me in a way because it just gave me that knowledge and also that wisdom that, you know, Africa is not just what you always see in the media. Africa is not always what the negative aspect of the media tries to portray on you, because, you know, there's always good things in Africa. There's always, you know, things that people in America cannot really gravitate and grasp towards. Like, I myself never been to Africa before. I'm just going to say that right now. I do want to go sometime, but it's just having that knowledge and that wisdom is what always intrigues me in a way.
Gotcha. And there's a lot of famous people that has come from Sierra Leone. It's, you know what I mean? It's definitely a center, you know, to the culture. So, you know, that's dope. Do you feel like that you have any type of, I don't know, like duty to where you're from?
I feel like it's my duty not to forget where I'm from.
Gotcha. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. So what can we expect from you next? Like, aside from the album, are you planning on releasing any more, like, well, I know you said you were going to do a single, but as far as like more APs, because that seemed to be a thing.
Well, at the moment, no EPs at the moment. I'm just mostly trying to focus on just promoting and finishing school at the moment. And also, you know, sometime I'll just drop something maybe like towards a couple of months, but who knows what will happen. Because, you know, one time I might just think about doing like a poetry slam or something like that, you know.
A poetry slam? Okay.
Yeah, I gotta think about doing something like that. You never know.
So let me ask you a question. I know that the world is wide open in a couple of places, like Atlanta, Texas. How's things in North Carolina for you right now, as far as, you know, you being able to get out and creatively connect with your fan base?
Things are actually going pretty good, you know, with you living in the age of social media, and I'm just using that as an advantage because, you know, not everybody is comfortable enough to just to go out and like they did like last year, or maybe the year before last and stuff like that. So as long as my social media family is strong, as long as I'm networking the best way possible, then that's what's always propelling me to do even greater things.
Absolutely. I can definitely say that that's a key, you know, and I feel like everybody that's a creative has found, you know, their way throughout the pandemic and has found ways to utilize their social media to their advantage. Whereas, you know, before you didn't really, I mean, although social media has always been important, especially with like, you know, promoting and things like that, we weren't really forced to have to use that as our sole outlet, in a sense, to connecting with our fan base and things like that. So definitely think that you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing. I really feel like this is here to stay, though. I don't think these IG Live interviews, these IG Live, you know, DJ mix shows, these IG Live concerts, I don't really think that that's going anywhere. You know, I think that it's kind of going to be a permanent platform worked into what we do as creatives. How do you feel about that?
I definitely 100% agree with what you're saying, because it's like, and like you said, it's just another way of us connecting, another way of us, not just forgetting about one another, always being there for one another. Like, say, like, you just have a family, like that's not even work, that's not even like ready to like leave the world yet. They'll always, use Zoom, or they'll always just use like, Instagram to still connect with one person. And that's what the world needs today, is like more connection and more just factual and more love with one another, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like seeing people these days just forget about love, or people just do things for their own advantage.
Yeah.
And that's what always gets them hurt at the end of the day too, because they realize that the advantage is only secondhand to what's really in the full plate.
Got you. The only thing I really do worry about, to be honest with you, and you kind of, make me think about it, was even before the pandemic, I feel like that we were already kind of super immersed into our devices. And I worry a little bit, because it's like, okay, so now we've kind of gotten more acclimated to our screens. How that's going to affect us, our evolution as humans. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense, or if I'm talking crazy, but every organism goes through evolution, and we're
Right.
no exception as human beings. So, I just hope that we don't get away from being able to physically connect with people too. So.
I definitely 100% agree with what you're saying. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying, because sometimes when it comes to how people are just attracted to like their phones, or maybe just social media in general, they might just sometimes use that as a way to cope with what they're going on with their own lives. Like, they might just use that as their own mind control. Because, and I was just talking to my friend the other days, like sometimes when we're in social media, we might see like a meme, or we might see something that's funny, like just based off a scandal that's happening. And they might just, use that meme as a way just to figure with what they're thinking. Like, they might just use that meme to substitute with their own thinking. And even if the scandal is not even funny and
Right.
stuff like that. Like, I just saw this one meme. I mean, they were talking about Whitney Houston's death, and they were saying stuff like, Whitney was like, I want to be right downstairs. And then in a caption, they said, God, I don't know about that. And all of a sudden, it's like, how is that supposed to be funny? I don't understand the joke between all of that, And I'm not saying that all memes are bad, because I've laughed at a few memes before. We've all laughed at a few memes before, but
I get what
you just can't.
It's kind of like it's like desensitizing people, essentially, to
Right.
issues and things that are serious, that we shouldn't be laughing at.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you as an artist, we talked about that. Who is Reg outside of music?
Reg is very complicated.
Okay, explain.
Reg can sometimes have a good side, sometimes can be like a laid back person, but then as Reg is like very passionate about something, he'll definitely do what it takes to make that manifest, and make that, finesse into his own liking. But at the end of the day, why am I talking like myself in the third person? Excuse me. At the end of the day, I'm always going to look out for what's best for myself. And at the end of the day, if I feel something that's beneficial for me, I'm going to hold on to that.
Okay. And who would you work with right now if you had the chance to work with anybody?
Ooh. Wow. And there's a lot of very dope artists. But if I was to pick one artist from the top of my head that I would definitely work with, possibly the Innocent Pack. I definitely like his sound. Definitely love like his music from the Malibu album, the Oxnard album. Definitely love his music, and yeah, definitely.
Anderson Paak. Okay, that's a good answer. All right, so you are now officially in the hot seat. So if we were doing this interview in person, you would pick 5 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and pick 5 cards for you if you trust me to.
Okay.
And these are not like super crazy questions when I ask you about, you know, your sex life and everything. It's just about, you know, kind of like thought-provoking questions.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to choose 5 cards for you. All right. So here's your 5. All right.
Ooh, this feels interesting.
So for you, what does the acronym GAME stand for? GAME.
Gain. Gaining absolute most experience.
All right.
Something on top of my head.
Off the top of the dome. What would you do to pass the time if you were stuck in an elevator for hours?
I would definitely meditate.
Okay.
And I would definitely talk to myself to keep myself grounded.
Meditate. I think that's What about you would make someone pass you by if you were hitchhiking?
I'm a black man at night.
Black while hitchhiking, okay?
I mean, I had to.
That's, you know what? That's the viable answer in today's world, unfortunately.
Right.
Who was your childhood hero?
Who's my childhood hero? Malcolm X.
Okay. Why? I mean, the obvious reasons, but what made him, out of everyone, your childhood hero?
Because I respected his views about, you know, black nationality and stuff. And I've always been an admirer of the autobiography of Malcolm X, which I've actually purchased 3 times in my lifetime, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. Little known fact. And what would you be doing with your life if money wasn't a problem?
Buying an island and not telling everybody where I'm at.
You're gonna run away from the world?
Right.
I know that's right. That's something I will probably do myself. So listen, Reg, thank you very much for talking with me about your music. I'm looking forward to hearing your album drop. Enjoy your music as well. Definitely unique, different. Go ahead and leave your fans and then also our viewers with the word.
All right. Thank you. But first of all, before I do that, thank you so much for having me. I've definitely had a good time here. Y'all support my girl, Radio Redd Foxx, here in the building. Y'all support her. And just to leave y'all with some words of advice, always be yourself and never let nobody stop you in your dreams.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give your social media, your platforms, everywhere we can follow you and support your music.
All right. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at MCRegMusic, and y'all can follow me on Twitter at RealReg1, and I'm on streaming sites from Spotify to Tidal. You know, y'all can catch me everywhere.
All that good shit.
All that shit.
Well, thank you so much, Reg, for hanging out with me on the Roxx. I definitely appreciate you. Looking forward once again to your album and supporting your music. Make sure y'all support his music as well. And I'll talk to you again later.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You're so welcome. You have a great night as well. All right, y'all. So that was another episode of On the Roxx in the Bag. I'm about to go eat and relax and enjoy the rest of my night. I hope you do that as well. If you want to get on the Roxx, I did pin my email information below. You could also shoot me a DM as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and chop it up together. All right. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Hit me up. Radio Redd Foxx, Radio REDDROXX on Instagram. And I just realized I put the wrong email, but whatever. Email is redroxbooking@gmail.com. Talk to you later.